What's up, everybody? This your boy Adogg, and once again, I'm back with another video. Now, today we got my man, Mr. Thomas Sowell. Now, this one right here is called "Facts About Hiroshima That They Don't Teach You in School." Now, before we get to the video, if you're new to the channel, be sure you hit that subscribe button, turn on your notifications so you don't miss out on any of my videos. Without further ado, we're gonna dive straight into this. Like I said, if you watch the entire video, it really helps me out. Let me know at the end of the video if you did watch it, or you did watch it all the way to the end. Put it down below in the comment section. I would really appreciate that. Everybody that's watching the entire video, it helps the channel out a lot, and I would really appreciate it. But let's go ahead and dive straight into this.
Of Chinese ancestry got into big trouble. An American of Chinese ancestry got into big trouble when the private school at which he was teaching had a public discussion of the American bombing of Hiroshima. He recalled how,
it's called Hiroshima. I said it wrong. My bad. It's Hiroshima. Okay.
Someone growing up in China, he had rejoiced when he heard of the bombing, knowing that it could deliver his people from the horrors inflicted on them by the Japanese. That, of course, was not the politically correct response, as he soon discovered from the backlash, hostility, and ostracism that eventually culminated in his leaving the school. The anointed do not want anyone upsetting their vision. When they say diversity, this is not what they have in mind. Hiroshima has become one of the many symbols of a countercultural hostility to America among the intelligentsia in general and the revisionist historians in particular. The 50th anniversary of the bombing of Hiroshima on August 6, 1945, galvanized Newsweek magazine into Monday morning quarterbacking half a century after that Sunday. The revisionist line is that it was unnecessary to bomb Hiroshima. We could have invaded, we could have negotiated a settlement, we could have done all sorts of things. Newsweek magazine's estimate today is that there might have been 20,000 Americans killed in an invasion of Japan. This is
20,000 Americans killed. Wow, bro. That's a lot of people, man.
Estimate today is that there might have been 20,000 Americans killed in an invasion of Japan. This is quite a contrast with the estimates of the people who had the heavy responsibility of fighting the war at the time. General Douglas MacArthur, who had been selected to command the invasion of Japan before the atomic bomb was tested and shown to work, told Secretary of War Stimson to expect more than 1 million American casualties alone. British Prime Minister Winston Churchill also expected more than 1 million American casualties, together with 500,000 casualties among the British troops who were scheduled to hit the beaches with the Americans. Anyone familiar with the history of the Japanese soldiers' bitter resistance to the death, very few were captured alive, will have no trouble understanding why such huge casualties were expected. American Marines lost more than 5,000 men taking the little island of Iwo Jima, and the Japanese themselves suffered more than 100,000 deaths when Americans captured Japan's outlying island.
Oh, dude, that is a lot of people, man. That went from 20 to 100. You know what? I can't wait to read the comment section on this to see what y'all take is on this and stuff like this. But this is crazy, man. And this right here is something that, like, and when I was in school, I didn't hear anything about Hiroshima. Like, my teacher didn't teach me nothing about Hiroshima. I don't know if anybody else, like, who went to school, did their teacher teach them anything about this, but I don't recall being taught anything about this right here. But let's go.
Understanding why such huge casualties were expected. American Marines lost more than 5,000 men taking the little island of Iwo Jima, and the Japanese themselves suffered more than 100,000 deaths when Americans captured Japan's outlying island of Okinawa.
Wow.
That was more than were killed at Hiroshima or Nagasaki.
Dang.
Newsweek's pushover scenario, which would have had Japan defeated in 90 days, would be funny if it were not so sick. Winston Churchill's estimate to the House of Commons would have had the war with Japan ending in 1946, and the Pentagon's estimate was that Japan might even hold out until 1947. Not only was there a Japanese army which had proven its toughness and skill on many a battlefield, there were 5,000 kamikaze planes ready for suicide attacks on Americans invading their homeland.
Oh.
If these planes managed to take out just 5 Americans each, they alone would have killed more troops than those in Newsweek's.
Oh, the kamikaze planes, so they was preparing to do some damage. Hold on.
Their homeland. If these planes managed to take, not only was there a Japanese army which had proven its toughness and skill on many a battlefield, there were 5,000 kamikaze planes ready for suicide attacks on Americans invading their homeland. If these planes managed to take out just 5...
Dude, 5,000 kamikaze planes? 5,000? 5,000 kamikaze planes ready to take out the... Come on now. That right there is just too many. That is too many planes. Jesus Christ. Can 5,000 planes even fit in the air? God.
Invading their homeland. If these planes managed to take out just 5 Americans each, they alone would have killed more troops than those in Newsweek's rosy scenario. Japan's civilian population, including children, were also being mobilized and trained in suicide attacks on enemy troops and tanks.
So
it would have been one of the great bloodbaths of all time.
So basically they were training the kids so they could be able to protect themselves as well.
Have killed more troops than those in Newsweek's rosy scenario. Japan's civilian population, including children, were also being mobilized and trained in suicide attacks on enemy troops and tanks.
Okay.
It would have been one of the great bloodbaths of all time. Of course, Japan could have been defeated without the atomic bomb, but at what cost in lives of people killed in other ways, and in larger numbers? The other tack taken by the revisionist historians is to say that Japan was ready to surrender before the atomic bombs were dropped. The most obvious question is, why didn't they do it then?
Yeah.
Indeed, why didn't they do it after Hiroshima was bombed,
Right.
and thereby spare Nagasaki? Whatever negotiations may have been going on behind the scenes, surrender was by no means a done deal. Even after both cities had been destroyed, it took the unprecedented intervention of the emperor himself to get the military men to agree to surrender. And even as the emperor's message was being broadcast, some military officers were killed trying to storm the studio where the broadcast originated.
Wow.
The real question is not whether Japan was willing to negotiate some kind of end to the war, but whether it was ready to accept the terms being offered, which involved not merely military capitulation, but acceptance of American occupation of their homeland. It was this occupation, like the occupation of Germany, which turned a militaristic nation that had launched several wars in recent times into a peaceful and democratic country. This was an historic achievement made possible by the terms of surrender, which in turn were made possible by the 2 atomic bombs. On net balance, this saved not only American and British lives, but even Japanese lives, not to mention the lives of people in Asia, like our Chinese-American schoolteacher who told a bitter truth which the anointed did not want to hear.
Man. Wow, yo. Bro, 5,000 kamikaze planes to try to take some of them out. And then they got to the point where they had to start trying to train the kids to protect themselves. Cause it looked like to me they had the kids like it was showing like a couple kids with a gun in their hand, so they had to start training kids. Wow, bro. Like I said, I can't wait to read the comment section. I would love to hear what a lot of you got to say, because that can help me understand more about, like, from what I just heard, and what y'all going to let me know in the comment section. So I'm going to be looking forward to reading all the comments and stuff like that, because I love to hear y'all take on it. But man, wow. That's all I can say. Wow. But look, y'all, we have made it to the end of the video. If you did enjoy, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. It's your boy Adogg, and I'm going to catch y'all in the next one.